Good morning, good morning. It's your boy, Deacon MacArthur, Past Master MacArthur, Chris MacArthur, whatever you want to call me. But always remember, you can always call me the child of God. It's your, it's your boy again. I know I've been on here lately doing a lot, and I've been saying a lot. But I came upon this devotion as I'm doing my morning devotions this morning, and I just came upon this, and I just came upon this devotion from Rick Warren. Don't know who this may be for, but hopefully you receive the same inspiration or knowledge that I receive, that you will be able to pass it on to others. It's entitled, Are You Ready to Make a Commitment? Coming out of Esther 4 and 16, which reads, Though it is against the law, I will go in to see the king. If I must die, I must die. To discover your destiny and live out God's calling on your life, you must make a faith commitment to Him. The Bible talks a lot about the importance of faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. Hebrews 11 and 6. According to your faith, according to your faith, let it be done to you. Matthew 9 and 29. The righteous will live by their faithfulness in God. Habakkuk 2 and 4. Anything is possible for someone who has faith. Mark 9 and 23. Esther was a Jewish queen married to a pagan king who didn't know she was a Jew. But the time came when she had to ask the king to rescind a decree that would have wiped out the Jewish nation. She must have been incredibly scared to go to the king. It was a major risk to admit she was a Jew and to ask the king to change his decree. But she knew she had been placed in a position of queen for a reason, and she wanted to be faithful to God. Esther 4 and 16, she makes a faith commitment to do the things she's most afraid of. She says, Though it is against the law, I will go to see the king. If I must die, I must die. Esther commented to estimate Esther's commitment to following God and doing the right thing, even if it meant she would die. How many of us are willing to commit to following what God has told us, even if it means death? You're not ready to truly live until you have qualified and clarified in your heart what you're willing to die for. Living a life of purpose will require you to decide between working for good things, working for the most important thing. Making a faith commitment means declaring what you're willing to give your time, your talent, and your treasure and your entire life to. Take some time to look at every area of your life and ask God what faith commitments He wants you to make. Tell Him that you're ready to fulfill His destiny for your life. Once you really understand your destiny, it will grab you. You'll go after it with total abandonment. It may not mean you have to give up your life, but it will mean you surrender, you sacrifice, you give your whole heart, and it will be the greatest commitment you've ever made. I hope this blessed someone today from Rick Warren's devotional. Are you ready to make a commitment? I hope something that I read today was inspirational to you, to ask you, are you ready to make your commitment? Are you ready to be committed to what God has called you to? Whatever it is, whatever business God has called you to, whatever He's destined. We all have a destiny that we must achieve, and He's calling us to. Mine may be something totally different than what I'm doing. I'm an introvert person, so I'm stepping out on faith by doing a video, by reading a devotional online. You know, Another devotional I was reading, as I'm reading, because I'm always reading, I'm an avid reader. I'm always reading something, and I hope something, and I wanted to pass on information to others that, hey, you may be going. I don't know what you're going through or what you've been through, but hopefully, if it's encouraging to me, I want it to be encouraging to you. I came across this devotion, this passage out of Joshua 5:10 through 12. It's called Between the Miracle and Ministry. What if we just live in a world of miracles? What if we just live in a world of miracles? Then all we would do is go around and be delighted with everything. Kind of like Peter Pan, enjoying the world, playing in it, singing in it, having games and adventures in it. We have lots of fun. We have lots of fun. We have lots of fun because it'll be a great world. It'll be a great world, and all we would do is enjoy it. Some people act like that. They never do anything for anyone else because all they want is a miracle. All they want is a miracle. How about the other people, the ones who just do ministry? They get a tremendous amount done. They're a, they're 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 very useful to have around. They make the world run, and yet they can be excuse me. Can't see. You have to take the glass off sometimes. They can be grim. They can be grim, and unpleasant to be around. They don't enjoy what they're doing because that's just too much that has to be done. There's just too much that has to be done. Separate ministry from miracle, and it's dull, gloomy, and sweaty. Separate miracle from ministry, and it's blithe and happy, but also immature and childish. Either side is only half of the gospel. The gospel weeds miracle in ministry. The gospel is the place where our God comes in our lives, and by His Spirit, miracle and ministry are weeded in a strong bond, welded so in a strong bond, so that we can live not only joyfully and delightfully, but also usefully. Up until the time of Joshua, the story of Israel looked like a sheer invasion of God. The people could not save themselves, nor could they sustain themselves. They owed their very lives to miracle because everything they owned their very lives to miracle because everything was being done by God. They crossed the Jordan and entered a new land where everything became ministry. The manna and the quail ceased, and so did the pillars of cloud and the fire. Right away, our text says the people began to eat of the produce of the land, natural food they had to harvest and cook for themselves. Ahead of them were the cities of Canaan, where the armies had to be conquered and crops had to be cultivated. Joshua was the one Joshua was the one who would equip these people who had been sustained by miracle, excuse me, for a life of ministry. Manna was the miracle food that had come to them freely, but now that it was gone, they didn't quit eating. They didn't quit surviving. They didn't quit being a people together. Instead, they needed to learn how to use their lives, which had been given them by miracle in forms of ministry. So the moral of the thing is, think about what your miracle it may be in that ministry that God has called you to. Whatever God has called you to, whatever ministry He's called you for, your miracle, your blessings is in that time, is in that place, is in that opportunity. So just take this opportunity today to reflect upon that ministry, that ministry and miracle that God has called you. He's going to bless you with. So I hope something I said today was enlightening and empowering to you. Once again, it's your boy. It's your boy. I'm just a lowly deacon. Just try to make 100. You know, if I can touch somebody's life, if I can touch somebody, give a word of comfort, a word of advice to anybody, you know, because I too was going through, and still going through. As long as I live, I'm be going through. But as every and every day, I thank God that He allowed me to rise up each and every day, to have the ultimate, to have the desire to get online, or to make a video, or to just to read a devotional. You know, I'm not the smartest, and I'm not the smartest a biblical person, and and I don't claim to be. You know, I'm not position seeking, as people say. I'm not a position seeker. I rather be at home. My enjoyment is seeing other people strive in their calling, their desires. So I hope something I said to you. Are you ready to make your commitment? To be committed to Christ, to be committed to the Word of God. So are you ready to make your commitment? You know, just like Esther had to make a commitment, just like Joshua had to make a commitment. We all have to make that commitment, have to stand forth and make that commitment. Only you know what God has called you to. So are you ready to be committed to today? I want you to be blessed on today.